others.
I would like to mention that I have been on multiple online digital learning platforms before, and the fact that this app has adaptive learning and provides questionnaire for students who are lacking in a particular topic is really nice and makes us stand out from other platforms.
Just ensure that everybody. ये प्ले कर दीजिए प्ले कर दीजिए प्ले कर दीजिए अब रोक दीजिए अब रोक दीजिए रोक दीजिए रोक दीजिए रोक दीजिए
Good evening, everyone. Once again, thank you for your patience. We're about to start in 2 minutes. Team, please ensure everybody is inside. Thank you.
Good evening, esteemed educators. Thank you for taking out time and coming over at Q&I today. I would like to introduce Ms. Shreya Khaitan, who will be your host and moderator for the panel discussion. Shreya Khaitan is an alumna of Delhi University and a part of marketing and business team at Q&I. Shreya has worked with over 100 plus schools nationwide, driving impactful growth through various initiatives and edtech collaborations. Her expertise lies in creating impactful initiatives, fostering strong partnership with schools and stakeholders, and uncovering growth opportunities to broaden Q&I's impact and reach. Over to you, Shreya.
Thank you, Neha. A very good evening to this August gathering. I want to thank each one of you for making it today, for making it on time. We are truly grateful to you for being very patient with us. But now, let's begin. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to Q&I Today in the city of Pune. Q&I Today is a groundbreaking educational event series that will traverse multiple cities across India, bringing together the brightest minds in education. This unique initiative is designed to foster meaningful dialogue and collaboration around the evolving landscape of education in India. This is not just an event, it is a celebration of ideas, collaboration, and innovation. And Q&I is a revolutionary education initiative by Thomson Digital, India's leading digital publishing solutions provider, founded by the promoters of India Today Group. Q&I is a conceptual breakthrough. It represents a paradigm shift in preparing students for competitive examinations from grades 8 to 12. And today, I'm here to ensure our discussions are meaningful, insightful, and flow seamlessly. Together, we'll explore how the technology is transforming education to help students achieve their fullest potential. Thank you all for joining us, and we look forward to an engaging session. We are thrilled to have such a distinguished group of educational leaders, innovators, and decision makers gathered here today. As we embark on this exciting journey, let us all take a moment to acknowledge the incredible contributions you have made to the field of education. Your dedication, passion, and commitment to nurturing young minds and shaping the future are truly inspiring. Let's have a huge round of applause for each one of you. Thank you very much. We have a packed agenda for today, featuring engaging panel discussion, interactive session, and thought-provoking presentation. We hope these sessions will spark new ideas and inspire you to take your initiatives to greater heights. Before I proceed, a short announcement. This entire event is being live streamed on YouTube. I hope everyone has received the link. Please do share it with your friends and family so that they can watch you in action at the comfort of their homes. Now, before we dive into the first segment, which is the panel discussion for today, allow me a second to introduce our panel discussion topic for today. The topic is Future of Personalized Learning, How Technology is Changing the Classrooms. And we are honored to have an esteemed panel of speakers for this discussion. May I please invite our panelists for this evening. Ms. Jyotsna Mishra, Director, Allard Public School. Ma'am, can I please have you on stage? Ms. Kajal Shitija, Director, United International School. Welcome, ma'am. Ms. Aparna Morris, Principal, SPM Public English Medium School. Thank you for joining us, ma'am. Ms. Mridula Mahajan, Principal, Akshara International School. Ms. Shehnaz Kothar, Principal, Podar International School. Ms. Sangeeta Kapoor, Principal, the Orchid School. I believe she'll be joining us lately. Okay. All right. So this entire panel will be joined by a Q&I team member. May I please invite Ms. Neha Aghi. Ms. Neha Aghi is the head of Foundation and Learning Design at Q&I. She's a seasoned educational leader with over a decade of experience guiding IIT, JEE, and NEET aspirants. A prolific author of academic books, she has pioneered innovative experiential education methods and AI-driven learning solutions, making education more engaging and accessible. Driven by a passion for social impact, Neha strives to break down educational barriers, empowering students from a diverse background to reach their full potential and to actualize their dreams. Welcome to the panel, Neha. Well, let's begin with the panel discussion. Once again, thank you to our esteemed panelists for joining us. Once again, a very good evening to each and everyone. Welcome to today's panel discussion. The topic I would like to reiterate is the future of personalized learning, how technology is changing the classroom. And we're truly thrilled to have such an esteemed panel of educators, thought leaders, and experts in the field of education join us today. Today's discussion will explore how technology, especially data-driven technology, is reshaping education to be more adaptive, more meaningful, and more impactful. We'll delve into key topics to gain insights into the future of personalized learning and its transformative effects on students, teachers, and educational institutions. The agenda for today is to discuss what does the future of personalized learning look like, what are the current school efforts in that direction, how is data-driven technology impacting our classrooms, what is technology's role in reducing the stress experienced by our educators and students, and how can educators and parents collaborate to support learning at home as well as within school. Each panelist will be given a question, and we will request them to keep their answers within 2 to 3 minutes. Post the questions, we will also open the floor for discussion or questions from our audience members. Sure. All right, so let's dive into it. The first question is to Kajal ma'am. How do you envision personalized learning and strengthening teaching methods over the next 5 to 10 years? Also, if I may add, why do you think personalized learning is important for our students? Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and good evening, one and all. As we all know, we are catering to 21st century learners. Whatever we say, we always say this, that technology has brought in, complete disruption. And their attention span, that means our students' attention span is decreasing day by day. If anyone can tell me what is the current, span of our students, that, yes, ma'am, you said 3 minutes. So it's just 3 minutes. That means our students can be engaged to the teacher, the instructions which are given to the students. That means how much diversity, how much dynamics we need to bring to our classrooms. When we talk about personalized learning, how are we ensuring that we bring this personalized learning wherein we have almost on an average 35 learners into the classrooms, 35 individuals, 35 brains which think in different directions. When I deliver a lesson, every learner interprets in different way. I will never say this, that my learner is an average or above average or child with additional needs. I have to think as an educator first how I will deal with my 21st century learner. How I'm going to be adaptive, as you said, like our panel discussion will be all about how are we bringing meaning to our classrooms, how are we adapting these new learning platforms. If as a leader of the school, if I say I am capable of doing everything, I fail. My learning growth will stop. So we need to embrace such experts who bring dynamic and very, very tech-driven platforms, which is AI-driven, which gives us data. It helps teachers. It is a tool, basically. It helps teachers to personalize learning, to create learning experiences more, you can say, driven, which gives us analytics, what is best for our child. We know about WARC learning modules. We know about different learning abilities. Some are visual, some are auditory, some are kinesthetic. We have reading and writing. So all, I am very sure Q&I has, come up with dynamic learning platforms which will be able to cater to different, learners, and it will enhance the classroom and teachers will be guided. This is what this platform will encourage our teachers to use it very, very confidently. Because we also know when we bring a new technology, there is a lot of stress into the school. Oh my God, another new platform. I have to put in a lot of energy to it. So let's embrace and be adaptable. Ultimately, the change is the only, constant. So we need to change with the change. We need to change our learning patterns to teach to our 21st century learners. Over to you, ma'am.
So thank you for those insights. A very simple thought. In a world where we customize everything from our playlist to our grocery lists, how can education afford to stand behind? I mean, this is the future of a nation that we're talking about. Children in our classroom have diverse learning needs, and thank you for establishing that personalization has to be at the core of our classrooms today. Let's going a little deeper into the question, if I may ask Aparna ma'am. What efforts are schools currently making to implement personalized learning, and how can these efforts be more widely embraced in our classrooms for today? Your question.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. You know the word personalized learning, I think the meaning itself is hidden in these two words. When we talk about personalized learning, we have to keep first the student at the center. As Kajol ma'am rightly said, we have 35 brains, we have 35 different requirements, we have individualized styles of learning, and the school, the classroom, must adapt to those learning style, not the other way around. The student cannot adjust, cannot adapt to the teacher's style of teaching, learning. It is we have to now customize learning according to the personal need of the students. So for which we have data-driven technologies, we have learning management systems which can be integrated into our teachings, we have collaborative learning, we have flexible learning environments which the educators can sit and plan, taking into account each student which is present in the class. And I think as CBSE schools, ICSE schools, or even nowadays, most of the schools have realized the importance of keeping the class strengths, to a limited number, wherein personalized teaching can happen. The teacher can recognize the needs, the diverse learning styles, the diverse learning cultures of the students and can adapt accordingly. Collaborative learning can be an important tool of personalized learning also, wherein the slightly advanced students can help their peers who are little lagging behind. So all these learning methodologies definitely help, but this is only possible only if we have continuous professional development for the teachers. If the teachers are made aware of the changing environments of the classroom, you and I studied in schools where it was one cap fits all and one method suits all. But today we have recognized the needs of diverse learners. We have gifted students, we have some students with learning difficulties, we have the average learners, we have some audio-visual learners. So many different styles have been understood, recognized, and we all have this diverse learning community in our school. So in this kind of learning system, data plays a very important role. So if we have learning management systems integrated into our school, into our classrooms, I think one wonderful example is a flipped classroom, wherein the students can learn at their own space, they can learn at their own speed, and the most important thing is they can own their own learning. That is very important, I feel. So this is what the schools need to do, and I think this is what the schools are doing. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, ma'am. And yes, rightfully, the flipped classroom model is something that's very interesting, wherein we have, we flip the method of teaching. So what we do is we have students go learn, watch videos, concepts, and in classroom there's problem solving. And I think that is where technology steps in, right? If we are able to use it to transform problem solving, creative thinking, I think we have established the benefit of it in itself. Thank you for sharing those thoughts, ma'am. Jyotsna ma'am, if I may ask the next question to you. Can you share successful examples of implementing personalized learning in your classrooms, and how and what kind of support did you need to ensure that these were effective and impactful for your students? Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. So now this is the topic about the personalized learning. Actually, these two, madam already told about that, but still I'll be going to little bit deeper. What do you mean by the personalized? Personalized. Because here it says to focus the each child. In our classes, if we have the children from 30 to 40, because as per the CBSE, it must be 40 maximum. But normally to control the 40 students, it's very difficult. So it may be coming to 30 also if the school requires, or if the school decides. If it is 30 students also, there are 40 minutes in a class. And a teacher will go to the class to go for focusing the persons, focusing the child independently. Is it possible by a teacher to go to the class for 40 minutes to focus the child independently, what to teach, how to teach, and to evaluate? Where we are really focusing. Our focus is that how to go for quality education. It is not like that. We'll be going to have a story, we'll be going to teach the maths, science, and will come out. We have to see how the child is focused, the child is learning something, and to assess the child. That way we have to see it. Then in case of the personalized, if we are going for the 30 children of different pace, they are in the different pace. But there is no time for the teacher to go for the different pace. If a child is going, somebody may be in the 10%, if we are going for the percentage out of 100, what I do in my school, that I keep the children in the different percentage. Suppose a child, those who do not know in the lower level, maybe 10 to 20% to 99%. How to cater all the child by giving the focus, it is the difficulties for the teachers. So when we all are talking about this, all this AI and different type of technique, we have to see how the different type of technique has to be used by the teachers so that to make it successful. Otherwise, the personalized, the persons will be in one side, teachers will be in another side, and the technology in one side. There is no meaning at all for the technology if it cannot be properly implemented for the benefit of the child. So that now we'll be talking for one example. Suppose if a child is taught about the biology, about the heart, when the child teacher is teaching the heart, the teacher is just having a drawing or something else, or showing that, just see that how the heart functions, your heartbeat is going on, heart looks like this, it has 4 chambers, left ventricle, then right also, so there are so many chambers are there, how it works. What the child can get it? The child will be only visualizing this is a heart, how it pumps the blood, and we are alive. Apart from that, the child can't see anything. But when the same heart is showed in the 3D pictures, in the flip room or whatever may be all the technology as it is developed, so that the clarity of the heart, how it works, it shows very nicely and the child can remember. The same thing, when we are going for a story, if the characters are narrated by somebody, that is on a screen, and the whole story is picturized, that picturized story will be telling. So for example, suppose Ramayana and Mahabharata, and this is the allied subjects in Hindi, that is in the CBSE in class 6, 7th, 8th, non-detailed books. What is happening? The teachers do not take the books. They tell something because the Hindi book, Hindi grammar, and the Hindi non-detail, though it is so heavy. How to teach? Why to teach like that? Because if you are showing the different segments, already Mahabharata and Ramayana has been screened by these different publishers, by the different writers. If you are bringing it and showing the history, automatically the child can know what is there in the Ramayana and Mahabharata. Then you go for the character sketching, go for the whatever the values we are getting. So this is how the technology is helping us. But how to put the technology with the classes, with the subject, that is the most important fact for the teachers. And what I believe, the teachers has to see when going to the classes, they have to experience the child, where the child are, where the children are, what they need, what type of skill they have, and what is the requirement of the child, and how to find out it. Suppose if in the lower classes I have given the maths, and in case of plus or minus or multiplication division, all four operations with the these fractions with the digital, all these things, if I am going to test, how to evaluate and how much time will be taking. There is an adaptive learning system where we can draw the data and we can give this data through the help of the technique, all these your technical things. And that when we are going for this all examples, all the problems, we can know that problem number 1 is given on the screen. 40 children are sitting on the school, that I was doing in my Blossom school, and when I was in experiment, and that one person, one group from Ahmedabad, they did it and they were implementing in the school before 10 years, I am telling. By that time, I have seen this data, that all the 40 children were in the computer lab, and the question was given from their course, in one chapter. Everybody were doing the questions. If a child knows what are the operations in their courses, the difficulty level will be given to them. If a child cannot do, the difficulty level will be less. So by this time, there is a auto measurement, and the child, the parent or teacher can know what my child knows. Each child they can measure. So these are the things, what the technique, what this, all this, your now technical teams, they can take it, and we can be very easily, we can know it. So that is the requirement of the time, and that is the need of the time, what we have to collaborate. But everybody we are telling that yes, technology is required, yes, required. But what is required? How to put it? How to observe in this education, and in which each chapter, each class, how to put this technology so that the students will be successful. That is the need of the hour, where the principals and the leaders has to see, and they have to train the teachers how to put it in a proper way. That is my intention to tell you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Your insights and your perspective really underscores how important and impactful tech-driven strategies can be for the classroom. You've also set the stage for something very important, how data-driven approach has to be at the heart of all of it. So that's where my next question is going, if I may pose it to Neha, ma'am. So, Ms. Neha, how do you think can predictive analytics and data-driven approach empower educators to identify and address learning gaps? Ma'am mentioned how educators are very important in terms of understanding how to guide students, but how can data guide them in addressing those gaps? So, your question. Yes. You can check.
Good evening, everybody. Rightly said, ma'am, technology, educators, and learner, all three should be united. We cannot work in silos. We cannot work in isolation, right? So, predictive analytics and data-driven technology, how can empower teachers? I think we teachers are already born with a DNA of gathering data, building intuitions on top of it, and then suggesting remedial actions to students. That's our basic fundamental core that makes us educators. But again, in classroom of 35 students, all with different needs, how can teachers gather data? How can teachers use data? And make intuitions on top of it is a challenge. So here, technology can help us. Think of a student's journey as a Google Map. Google Map, I think all of us have seen. So we start with a point, and then we put our destination, and it connects with a roadmap. That roadmap is already given to us by NCF. So we have all the learning objectives that we need to follow. Now, having that roadmap will not guide us in the learning journey of individual learning journey. We see roadmap as just one blue line for all the children, but actually it's not. All have their different hurdles, different red zones, different yellow zones, different green zones. It's highly difficult for an educator to analyze and predict those zones minutely and give solution to children. So how we can do that? We can take that roadmap of NCF. We can divide that roadmap into different knowledge clusters. Divide learning objectives into different knowledge clusters. Further divide knowledge clusters into atomic learning targets, which are knowledge points. The fundamental atom that a student or anybody, each one of us, we learn. If we have those learning targets at place, it would be very easy for us to analyze where exactly the student is lacking. But now what's the exact number of learning targets that we expose our children with? Any idea how many learning objectives we have for grade 8 to 10 approx? For mathematics, the number is 10,000 plus knowledge points. We expose our children from grade 8 to 10. Is it possible to assess our children on 10,000 plus knowledge points in one subject? Think of multiple subjects. Exactly. So we require technology to help us assess, to help us know where the students are. So if we have our fundamentals right, where we have all the learning objectives divided into clusters, divided into knowledge points, and on top of it, we connect those knowledge points with all the learning styles. For example, there is, as ma'am said, there are certain visual learners, there are kinesthetic learners. So each learner takes up that learning target and develop a skill individually. How do they, what are the major skills that we need to think of? So for example, in mathematics, we have pattern recognition, we have visual perception, we have strategic competence and procedural fluency. These are broader skills every learning target leads to. If a student is visual learner and we are just emphasizing on procedure every day in our classes, we are doing injustice to that learner. To learn that particular knowledge point, we need to provide them with enough support to learn visually. We need to provide enough support to another student on the same knowledge point to learn with pattern. We need to provide the third learner who is too much into analytical reasoning and strategic competence to give opportunity to learn that with that particular skill. But in 40 minutes of class, it's not possible. So how teachers can do that? Teachers can prepare their lesson first, they can deliver that, and then they can expose children to the practice that is designed based on the learning style. The technology can predict the learning style of the learner and throws more and more questions for practice based on the learning style so that that learning loop is getting closed. Now, next day, when you know your entire class has practiced and this is the scenario that is coming out, 40% of my children are visual learners and 30 are, they are going into pattern and 20 are going into the strategic competence. Build next class basis that prediction. So that is where predictive analysis comes into picture. Now, how we do that in subjects. So as institutional heads, we have our sources. When we need to look at the behavior of the student, we have art teacher, we have math teacher, we have social studies teacher, how a particular child behave in your class, in your class, in your class. We have the entire data and we build our intuition on top of it. But for math, but for science, we have just one eye. One eye getting into classroom for 40 minutes. We are short of information. So when our fundamentals are lagging behind in information, in data, then our prediction will not be as strong as we make in behavioral issues. So that is where technology comes into picture, and predictive analysis can empower educators.
I'll just add one thing, wonderful thoughts, and this has triggered 2 points from my side. Now we've been talking about learning management systems, and we are on the platform of Q&I. We have one gadget everybody has on their table. What's that? Mobile, right? So now when you will start your search engine, I am very sure it is going to show you the platform of Q&I. That is the power of AI driven. So data is the new gold. When I say my teacher is in the classroom, she is playing a role of guide, mentor, facilitator. Through data, she will become a doctor. As ma'am said, there are so many skills which we need to check from our students' point of view. There are 10,000 skills. Is it possible? So AI, these data-driven platforms will help us to give a complete DNA. Like this will give us the complete, you can say, structure of the students, what are its strengths, weaknesses, and all other skills, so that it becomes a complete, you can say, aid for the teacher to bring personalized learning. Thank you.
I just want to add a point to this. You know, we all are educators. And how much of data or data-driven technology we use, it is just, I think so, 1/4 of the entire work that is done in class, because, you know, we are dealing with actual live students. And every time sitting down for an analysis, it's really not possible. We are dealing with human emotions as well. So what I feel is, after listening to Neha, is if we can have scalable pilot projects, you know, which can be managed on a learning management system, wherein a very small number of students become a part of the project. Whatever they have learned, if it can be mapped, and if it can be analyzed by this learning management system, and then if an assessment is done, what was the pathway the students used? What were their learning goals? How have they achieved it? Have they been able to achieve it to their fullest? So what were the lacunas? So which student lacked where, in what area? All this can be done by your data analytics. And if this is done, I think it will be more acceptable to us educators. Because, you know, we have got on this technology boat pretty late, at least as far as I am concerned. My youngest teacher is more adaptive, and she's more of an expert as far as technology is concerned. So even today, when I am on an WebEx or I am on Google Meet, you know, where nobody can see, my IT person is sitting with me. So, so you can understand. So if, you know, to initially, we need to first curb the fear of using data amongst educators. That is what I feel. So these scalable pilot projects, small projects, wherein we can first empower the educators. As I said, teachers first need to be professionally developed for data to be properly assembled into the teaching learning process. And so only then, it's still a long way off, I must say.
Well, fantastic and incredible points made. Just to pick up on what you said, that change always feels scary. And I think that's all of us, right? Initially, there's resistance, there's fear, then there is slow acceptance, and then we fall in love with it. And I think that goes for all age groups and people across all walks of life. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's how technology is penetrating our lives. And it's really exciting to think how real-time data analysis has the potential to truly personalize learning and adapt learning for each learner. So thank you for sharing your perspectives to each one of you. If I take this a step further, Mridula ma'am, we've understood how can educators understand, analyze, and utilize and leverage data to understand their students. Now, how do we take this data and personalize the learning for students in our classrooms? How do we create those experiences? So, hands-on techniques, strategies for our school leaders, educators. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening to all of you. So I will begin with this fact that we Indians stand first in something, and that is population. Number one is population. So there itself, to cater to a number like this, a manual effort is never going to be enough. So data driven thing, it all boils down to that. It begins from there. That is the first thing. My second statement would be that we've been talking all the time about cognitive ability, and in the bargain, sometimes we have missed out on the other two domains, that is the affective and the psychomotor domain. Now, to cater to these domains, again, manually it is a mammoth task and it is not possible. This is where, again, data and technology both will play a role. Coming to my third point, talking about intelligence, I'm not even touching Howard Gardner and multiple intelligences and the ninth intelligence. Let that be on one side, because that is something that was introduced in the 1990s and has come to us now. However, I want to touch on this, that the focus has entirely been on the cognitive domain, on the intellectual ability of a child. However, time has taught us and research has shown us that the shift has happened from IQ to EQ as well, and from EQ to SQ as well, and from SQ to, today they talk about HQ, that is happiness quotient, and COVID times they spoke about adversity quotient. But my question is, to learn all this, number one is the content and curriculum development, where ma'am data will play a role. Two is delivering this, that is the methodology or the pedagogy, where again data will play a role. Coming to the third point, assessment. Finally, we assess or evaluate students. Again, to cater to the diverse needs, data and technology will play a role. Moving one step ahead, now I want to tell you, most of us very often, very naturally talk about gaps in learning. And we end up talking about those students who have not been faring well. My perspective is a little different, because currently I am pursuing a course at Nyan Prabodhini. This course is meant for giftedness, that is gifted students. What about those students whose needs are much higher than those of whose needs are little lower or mediocre? So ma'am, you mentioned personalized learning. Personalized learning meaning having enough content for the need of every kind of child. And for example, if I'm learning, I'm doing mathematics and you give me a sum which I find it to be very easy, so you should be able to raise the level, which is not possible for a teacher to do manually in the class. And so the difficulty level has to be increased where technology comes into picture, and so on and so forth. Coming to the last part, we all come from CBSE background. We know about holistic progress card. It's not just about training, teaching and evaluating. Even putting that on record in the portfolio or in the progress card is not possible manually. So to have personalized records, personalized content, personalized assessment, number one requirement, data. Two, diagnosis, analysis, and finally then working with the help of technology. So there again, for holistic progress card also, I feel data-driven technology is very much essential. Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing that response, ma'am. And what I've picked up is it's a very simple network. Understand data, make informed decisions based on that data, go back to the roots, implement those decisions, adapt as and when the learning happens, and follow the same cycle. It's as simple. However, you've also been very nuanced in explaining that it requires a lot of efforts on each individual's part. So thank you for sharing that. Which brings me to another very pertinent question. You mentioned happiness quotient, well-being quotient, and adversity quotient, very important indicators. And fortunately, unfortunately, recently we've been paying a lot of attention to it as well. If I may ask, Shehnaz ma'am, we talk a lot about well-being, and we also believe that technology can help us automate a lot of tasks that feel very burdening for teachers. Now, if I may understand, how can educational technology, first of all, ease the teaching and learning load, both for educators as well as for students? And if I may also extend the question, it's very crucial for all of us to collaborate. As educators and school leaders, collaboration comes naturally to each one of you. But there's an important stakeholder involved, which is the parent. So, do you have some insights on how can we help educators and parents collaborate to help our students learn better? So, the question is yours, ma'am.
A very good evening to all of you all. When we talk about educational technology, we're talking about integrating technology into education, and that also in a positive manner. We have very important stakeholders with us, which are parents as well as students. When we want to make things very interesting or make it diverse for the diverse learners that we have, I think technology plays a very important part. With the advent, when we saw how educational technology played a very important part during COVID, that is one of the classic examples which we can see, where technology helped us to reach into the homes of the students and make teaching possible. Now over here, when we're talking about technology, it also gives us different kind of platforms where we have different kind of apps, online teaching, video conferencing. We do understand that, it may be a bit taxing for the teachers at the present, but without that human touch, technology would not be possible. However, how much ever we have technology in the lives of the children, we also need to have those human touch coming in the form of teachers. Yes, for parents also, we do understand with mobiles being placed in everybody's hand, it becomes quite difficult for them to monitor the students or monitor the children at home. But we are having a lot of various apps because of which we can do the needful. So I feel that, stress can be put to complete rest if the teachers and the parents collaborate, because these are very important stakeholders in the field of education. And the child in question can be taken care of. So we will have to join hands collaboratively to see that it happens.
So, thank you for sharing that dimension. And absolutely, to Jyotsna, okay. So, there's one more perspective that Jyotsna would like to share, and then we'll conclude our discussion.
I add to one point. What is AI now? Everybody, we are talking about AI, artificial intelligence. But the original intelligence is here only. Artificial is there. And the artificial intelligence created from us only. We are the master. They are this, that artificial intelligence is the servant. Treat as a servant and be a master. But we are not doing like that. Are you thinking? Previously, the people, those who were the teachers and the students, not the intelligent students and teachers were there. Why they were not teaching well? Nalanda, Takshashila, so many very reputed colleges are there, universities are there, where we had produced a lot of people, those who are very knowledgeable. And also we cannot be equalized to some of the people, those who are now and those who were. Then why not we? There is no impossibilities in my dictionary. Everything is possible with the teachers and the leaders. We are the people who have made this AI, robotics, and everything, all this, your coding, all these innovations we have made. If our brain is acting and working to do this, why not we to work? We don't want to work now. Why we are so lethargic? This you be and ask your teachers. Why the teachers are not going to teach the fundamental things? When the NEP came, before 30 years when I was a principal also, I was teaching the same thing in my previous schools for last 30 years. What the thing I was teaching? I was teaching the concept-based teaching. Every topic should be based on the fundamental concept and teach the fundamental concept. If now I ask a child, 75 multiplied by 100, how much it will be? The child will be going to put the mobile or the calculator. Why? The paper and pen. Why? Why the teacher is not telling, only add 75 and 2 here? If I am asking the child, 0.01, how much is the fraction? Why the child is immediately not telling 1 by 100? What is the way, the technique? The technique we are putting in the computer, we are putting in the technology, but we are not, we are making out from our mind. We are not keeping ourselves. Why not we? Are the teachers, are the principals, we are so lethargic? Are we not able to teach? If we are teaching the fundamentals, no child will be left out, I tell so. Think so. Yeah, of course, technology is a helping hand. Technology is a servant to us. Treat like a servant, be a master, and go for clarity for all these fundamental concepts. And tell the servant to help you so that the work will be quickly done. Isn't it? Yes? But what we are doing, we are giving the utmost priority to the technology. हम बैठ जाएंगे, अरे ऑन कर कर दिखाओ पिक्चर. Why the picture दिखाना है? आप पिक्चर क्या है आप डिस्क्राइब करो, एक्सप्लेन करो, देन पिक्चर दिखाओ. पिक्चर तो हमने बनाया, कोई बनाया नहीं. We the people we have done. So please do that. I believe in technology. I am not opposing technology, but I believe the natural mind of the human being. And please, we have to do that. And see that everybody we have the mind and we can groom the teachers. This was my intention. For last 30 years being a principal in different CBSE school, I was grooming my teacher. And lastly, I will be telling one thing. In 2019, the Blossom School got the national rank 1 by India Today. And by that time, I was not celebrating anything. Yes. I got and I didn't know that they will be choosing my school as a national rank 1. One day I got a mail. Your school has been chosen as a number 1 rank as per this particular attention to the students. This line was written there. Then I asked immediately by taking the mail, I asked, yes, we do not know who are you, but our survey tells us your school has been selected as the particular attention towards the child, and I had 5,000 students in my school, 200 to 250 teachers, and I was so happy. Before that also my school had got this Times of India, the best school, top school of the city, for 2 times also. Third time I got the national level rank 1 by India Today. Thanks to India Today. Might be they do not know, I do not know also. But still I received the letter and I was asked for the award ceremony to Bangalore. But should be. Should be. No, that should be. But we are the master. Keep yourself as a master. Don't be a servant to the technology, I tell you. I am not a servant to the technology. I believe myself. Whenever somebody tells for some counting, somebody comes to my room, I tell that don't put these computers. Don't put this plus minus about this mobile. You tell me I am a mobile faster than the mobile. I can compute, I can calculate faster than that. Then they go for this, all this. Why not you make your child faster? Why not you are the faster? Everything is possible, nothing is impossible. Please see and try that. Because it is not impossible when I tried by myself. And you can teach all the subject. Another, I teach all the subjects till class 10th. I know the content of 11, 12 because I was a science student by that time. So I know, but unless I read for some months for 11, 12th courses, not possible to teach properly. But very properly you can teach till class 10th, all the subject. And it is with me, a principal, a director, a leader of a school must be knowing all the subjects, all the content very nicely till class 10th, unless you are not a good leader at all. Because your teachers will be cheating you. You can't find out and go to the classes to check the teachers. You can't see the question papers. You can't see the marking system. Then how can you be a leader of the school? And by the God's grace, I was able to teach all the subjects till class 10th. I was from nursery to class 10th. I was looking my all these things. Please be like that. I tell you, because our generation is going and you, the youngsters, are coming up. Please do that. We can save our culture, our education in India. Thank you all.
I would like to add one point to what ma'am was saying regarding collaboration of parents and educators. Again, it goes back to my Google Map analogy. So think of a parent who out of nowhere just says, okay, come, I'll teach you. But my intent is to teach. I don't know what to teach as a parent. Students are regular in going to schools, teachers are regular in studies, but parents are not regular. There is no real-time monitoring that is happening or real-time, which can help parents to see what exactly to teach. So again, think of that Google map where teachers are using the same map and parents are using the same map, and whenever in real time, if as a parent I want to help my child, I know exactly what my child is struggling with, where I need to pitch in, and what my teachers are doing. So exactly. So there should be a common platform for both parents and educators which give real time feedback, so that whenever that intent is there to teach, that's not lost somewhere because we don't know what to teach exactly.
Well, thank you. That was a power packed discussion. To bring it to conclusion, we've seen technology evolve. We have people from different age groups here today. We've seen it evolve from, let's say, letter and pen to mobile phones and to tablets, correct. However, it didn't really negatively affect our lives, it only enhanced. Now, the important takeaway here is that it's what you do with what you have. So, how we leverage technology, like ma'am said, is the key here. And technology actually allows us the time, space, as well as the creative space to scale empathy, to be better educators, to be better mentors, and have the time to do what educators do best. So, thank you for sharing your perspectives. It was truly a delight hearing all of your experiences, insights. With this, we come to the end of our panel discussion. Technology is truly shaping every aspect of our lives, and it's really exciting to see how all the school leaders are bringing a transformative impact into their classrooms to positively impact our students. But before we end, I would like to open the floor and open the forum for discussion. Maybe we can take 2 questions from our audience members. If you all would like to ask any question, any panelist a particular question on that topic, or if you would like more insight on a particular perspective that they've shared. Yeah. So, to keep it brief, only 2 questions. Anybody would like to ask? Team, please help out with the mics. Yeah. Yes.
It's hello. Hello, good evening, everyone. It's a request. I would like to hear Josna ma'am for one more time. Josna ma'am, her views. That's it. No question.
If you could, yeah.
No, I don't have any particular question. I just wanted to hear her again.
Yeah, let's,
Yeah.
yeah. Then probably, yeah.
गुड इवनिंग टू एवरीवन आई होप माय वॉइस इज ऑडिबल
Yes, ma'am.
यार हाँ तो बोल दो शाम बन जाएगी so my question is that we all have discussed about multiple strategies, AI tool, how to make teaching learning process very engaging by using the new technology, as what all the panelists said about it, right? We being a leader in the school, we are handling multiple things at a time. When it comes to academics, we all know what all struggles we are having. Handling parents, handling issues like be it a school furniture, maybe transportation, maybe child's parents, multiple things are there. And we all are time bound, like we are working only for 6 hours. Now to execute it, means my question goes towards the time management. How to train the teachers, how to make them tech savvy so that trainings also can be taken, as what Mridula ma'am mentioned very nicely and crisp and precise, the steps which she gave. But how to execute it when we go to the school? Are we getting the teachers that we cannot train them quite often weekly? At the same time, how to make a timetable in which we can train the teachers and the content can be delivered? So is there anyone who can take a take on that and can guide us further? Because it's bit, yeah.
thank you for that question. Ma'am, Aparna ma'am would like to take it. Right?
I think we've got voices loud enough, that will reach to the end of the classroom. So, when you talk about how do we train teachers? So, if I understand your question, how do we train teachers for this data-driven technology to be integrated into the teaching learning system? Is that what you want to ask? And where are you going to get the time from? Isn't it for the training? For this, we as leaders, we really have to plan and understand what learning management system I can use for my school. For my school, which LMS is best suited. So as the leader, I understand all the points related to that LMS. The teacher training for this LMS must be done in the month of March, the last 15 days, when the students are not there. And before we have our first induction in the month of April, if we have a short module training, you can't have a very difficult, user-unfriendly system, because not all teachers are science students or are technology friendly. There are some teachers I know, when it comes to technology, they completely kind of shut down. They have to be given backup. So barring these one or two teachers, you must have the training during those 15 days or during the time when the students are not present, but only the teachers are coming to school. You cannot, we just cannot tax the teachers. As you rightly pointed out, ma'am, they're already, teaching learning is happening for 6 hours. And I'm sure after the 6th hour, they're waiting back for some time to plan for the week, for the next day. In this, if you put in that training, they are going to say, I am not going to teach. And already after COVID, you are seeing it is so difficult to have a good, dedicated, sincere teacher who has the students' interest at heart. So here, our role as leader comes into, being wherein we have to do planning in such a manner wherein we excite them, we make them enthusiastic about the learning, about the LMS that we are going to introduce for the coming academic year. For that, we ourselves have to first understand the nuances, how it is going to be useful, be sure of its usefulness, and then bring the teachers on board. This is what I really feel. Yes, a leader empowers, correct.
Sure. So thank you for answering the question, ma'am. Yeah, no worries. Do we have another question? Yes, ma'am, please.
Good evening, one and all present over here. It was a nice panel discussion. But the thing is that change in ourselves and change will only lead. Because I'll give you one example. When we were small, we used to have water bottles with us. But nowadays, we never carry water bottles. In our mouth, it comes a Bisleri. The change has come and we need to go with the change. Rightly said by the ma'am that we have to plan our day and that will only work. Plan your work, work will plan. For the time management, we need to go with the upgradation of our teachers before the school start. And this, that QI has done a great training for the principals enclave today. It's also an upgradation for us also. Thank you from my side.
Okay, about the training of the teachers, what the Aparna ma'am told. Little bit example I'll be giving you. Whatever plans he told, yes, it's okay that every school will do. Apart from that, if you, the leader, is interested, you can go down also. How to go down? Most of the schools, you have the 2 Saturdays where the teachers they come, but the students, they don't come. Sometimes the days are there. Find out the Saturdays where the teachers you come and the students, they don't come. During that time, just segregate your teachers for class 1 and 2 and bring the books. And you, the leader, you sit with the teachers, what I was doing in my life, all the life I do like that. For that I tell you, you just see that. In class 1 and 2, what are the PowerPoint project and which chapter requires this type of AI or this technology driven. Which chapter can be done like that? Segregate the chapter as per the syllabus and tell them how to teach the chapters. And tell somebody to write down and to show you and to discuss in the next Saturdays. So that before each examination, there are 4 exams, PT1, half yearly, PT2 and final. Before one examination, whatever the syllabus, sit with the teachers, discuss the way of teaching, how to do the question answers, how to go with the computerized or this technological learning. That is number 1. Number 2, if you are sitting from the nursery to all the classes like that, 50% of your all burden will be completed. This is very truly you see that. And your teaching by the teachers will be very systematic. Because they could know now, the teacher has the knowledge. The teacher cannot teach properly. Why? They are not getting any training or direction from the leaders. Leaders are not grooming the teachers. I am not telling all the leaders. Some leaders are there, they groom the teachers like anything. Some leaders are there, they give suppose somebody is the HOD of a subject. HOD will go and train. What the HOD is training, please the leader see whether the training is really helping the teachers or not. That is your duty to see. For that I told that you must have the knowledge in all the subject. If you do not have, please take the book from the library and go through the books, what are the chapters, how to solve it. It is not like that I want the 100% about all the topic. Have a minimum basic knowledge about the chapters. That must be. So that you sit with your HOD and the teachers will be coming. They can brief how to teach, how to go for question answers, not to dictate the questions, not to write the questions in the classes, not to mark from the book, and not to make boring by writing twice, thrice. So then how the fundamentals? Because suppose if you are teaching a particular topic, do one thing, tell the gist of the topic to the children. And if technologically, if anything play is there, you can show it. Otherwise, tell the gist. Let the child know what is the gist of the topic. Unless the child will be knowing the gist of the topic, when the teacher is teaching, oh, bacha batayega, oh, I got it. If the child does not know what is ABC there, and the teacher is going down to tell a lot of things, the child is sitting and just looking. Last day you will be looking, the child does not know the question answers. And everywhere in so many schools, why the teachers has to give the answers to the questions? Why the child is not able to write? Because there is a fault in our teaching. The child does not understand what to do. Why they will be writing a number of question answers in the copy? What is the requirement of all these things? Does it help them in the future? No. The future they help, what is the gist of the topic? Only they require that. आप उनको इतना क्यों पढ़ाते हो? So many question answers, why you do? Suppose yesterday one of my teacher was teaching in class 4, what is about the human resource. After teaching, I went to the classes. I went to ask the teachers, students, what do you mean by resource? How many types of resource? What is human resource? What is man-made resource? What is unnatural resource? What is natural resource? Have you taught about that? If the teacher is teaching only what is resource, how many types of resource, what are they? हो गया ना आपका chapter? If the child is writing that much only, your chapter is over. Why to write down 10 questions out of that and to mug up and to vomit in the examination? Does it have meaning? You are overburdening the child. Don't overburden. Rather, teach the child like that and tell them to enjoy with the all connectivity with the technology, how to put it in the technology. They will enjoy the life. This is how we have to teach, so our teaching will be very much, it will run in a positive way and it will help the children. It is not like that we can't do. Everybody we can do, but passion and interest is required. That you please keep it. As you have already hold a post. If I don't want to do, let us remove from the post.
All right, with that, we come to the end of. Oh, there is a.
I am audible. Yes. Thank you. Yes. I think the discussion has been very fruitful, mind-storming as well.
जो मुझे समझ में आया है आफ्टर गोइंग थ्रू द आइटनरी एंड आफ्टर गोइंग थ्रू द प्लेटफॉर्म व्हाट वी आर अप टू, Q&I, yes, it is the requirement as it has been planned and designed for the secondary and the senior secondary level. Okay, what Jyotna ma'am is saying, yes, that is also the need of the time. Why so? If we talk about NAP, if we are talking about the new curriculum framework, भैया स्किल इंडिया बनाना है, एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग करनी है, ये तो दोनों अपनी जगह पर मतलब एज एन इंडिविजुअल स्टेटमेंट व्हाट आई कैन मेक, आप दोनों बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे हैं, सब सही बोल रहे हैं. वी एज स्कूल लीडर्स वी जस्ट नीड टू वर्क ऑन द कोलैबोरेशन कि जब बच्चा प्राइमरी से सेकेंडरी में जाता है, मान लेते हैं कि हमें 8 तक बच्चे को इस तरीके से तैयार करना है कि भाई जब इस ऐप को वो अप्रोच करे तो वो अडेप्टेबिलिटी होनी चाहिए, उसमें एकदम से माइंड चेंज या वो गैप नहीं आना चाहिए. So I think the complete discussion, the complete, we all are on the same page, we all are on the same platform. As school leaders, we need to be, promoting hybrid, blending, flip, XYZ, so many platforms we all are talking about. So yes, accepted. I am also a very typical traditional approach leader once in a time, but as it is the requirement of the time, we all need to upgrade, we all need to adapt. एंड यस वी हैव टू अडेप्ट द टेक्नोलॉजी. और 8वीं तक मुझे भी ऐसा लगता है कि बच्चे को हमें इस तरीके से तैयार करना है कि जब वो सेकेंडरी हायर स्टडीज़ के लिए जाए, कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशंस के लिए जाए, तो ही और शी शुडंट फील अ स्ट्रगल एज अ स्कूल. वो बच्चे को एक सपोर्ट सिस्टम लगना चाहिए और वो अच्छा और कॉन्फिडेंट महसूस होना चाहिए. तो यू ऑल हैव बीन टोटली करेक्ट एंड राइट. एंड what I as a learner can say ki yes, we have understood, we are trying to understand, and definitely we are going to have good takeaways today after this discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your feedback with us. With that, we finally come to the end of our discussion. A huge thank you to our panelists as well as to our audience members. Can we have a huge round of applause for our, yes. High spirit, high energy, excellent insights. This was truly a very powerful discussion. But before we move on to the next segment, as a token of our deep gratitude, we would like to present a token of appreciation to all our panelists. May I please request Neha Aghi to kindly present it to all our panelists this evening. Thank you for taking out the time, for putting in the efforts, and sharing your insights with us. Thank you very much. Well, now we are excited to move into the next segment. Now, this segment speaks directly to the heart of innovation and progress in education. At Q&I, we believe in the power of personalization and the transformative impact of adaptive learning. Q&I is a bridge that connects students to their fullest potential. Q&I creates an environment where every student can thrive regardless of their starting point. Like we discussed, in a world where technology is shaping every aspect of our lives, education cannot afford to stand still. The next presentation is an invitation to you all to imagine how we as educators can harness these advancements to make learning more engaging, more effective, and more meaningful for our students. I invite you to not just listen, but to envision how this approach can transform classrooms, ignite curiosity, and truly empower students and educators to take control of their learning and teaching journeys. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Anurag Chandra, who's the head of product and business operations at Q&I. Mr. Chandra is an alumnus of IIT Kanpur with around 20 years of experience in the education space. He has authored several academic books for JEE and a bestseller fiction titled The Ramayana Secret in 2018. Mr. Chandra comes with comprehensive experience in several top edtech companies in different roles in content, product, and business. Mr. Chandra, welcome to the stage.
Thank you,
I request you to kindly take our audience through the Q&I story, vision, mission, and what is it that we're truly trying to do here.
Sure.
Over to you, Anurag.
Thanks a lot, Shreya. Good evening, school leaders and educators. Thanks a lot for taking time out to come today and join us at the Q&I Today event. The panel discussion that we had was quite engaging, and there were lots of meaningful insights for us to take back home. As a technology company that's making an effort to create and build solutions in the education space, we truly align with the fact that technology is out there to reinforce what the teachers are teaching and not replace them by any means. So that's one thing that we are also completely aligned with, and also with the fact that technology is the change that we need to actually adapt to, take in the finer things from the technology and try to enhance or make the learning outcomes more effective. So technology has a role to play, and we as school leaders and educators are focused on that as well, and that's a very, very promising start to begin with, and that also fills us with a lot of positivity and hope that the kind of solutions that we are trying to develop will have some synergies to work with you all. In the next 15-20 minutes that I'm going to talk about the organization that I'm a part of, the solutions that we have tried to build up for the schools, we are going to take you through the different kinds of problems that we encountered while we were trying to come up with a solution, and the challenges that we are trying to solve with the solutions and the programs that we have built in. And then we'll also like to hear some of your insights and some of your thoughts on the programs and the offerings that we have. And a later point in time, we would also be looking forward to meeting you in person at your schools at a convenient time and taking through the details and look if we can explore further synergies to collaborate together. So Q&I comes from Thomson Digital. Thomson Digital is a part of the larger India Today umbrella group of companies. Thomson Digital has been serving scientific, technical, medical, and global educational publishers for the last 5 decades. And we have been delivering and creating content and technology solutions for them. We have been handling a lot of research data that these publishers generate, handling very sensitive research data as well. So content creation, content structuring, technology solutions has been bread and butter for us for the last 5 decades. Now, 4 or 5 years back, we started to think of developing something for the Indian market as well, because we were primarily catering to global publishers and global customer base. We wanted to develop something for the Indian market as well. And that was a time when technology had started to make inroads into the education space big time, pre-COVID as well. And we felt that as a company that was already catering to educational publishers, that was already catering to content, that was already building technology solutions, education was the obvious choice for us to get into when we were looking at the Indian market space. So that is how Thomson Digital got into the Indian education space. And when we got into the space, the first thing that we kept in mind was we did not want to be one amongst the many that were already serving or servicing the existing space. So we took our time, we spent a year doing research, surveys with various stakeholders, including the teachers, the schools, the students, as well as the parents, to understand what the pain points are. And Q&I, the initiative that we came up with, is a result of all the research, all the surveys, and the discussions that we have been having with school leaders across the country for the last 3-4 years. It's not working. Next slide. Can you move to the next slide? Right. So when we did the research and we tried to figure out, because there were lots of companies already in the edtech space that was catering to the needs and the demands of the students and the parents, especially in the 11th and 12th or the competitive training market space. But what we figured out, that there were still some challenges that were not being addressed. Primarily what was happening was, though these programs that we would refer to as after-school programs catered to the requirements of the students to compete in these competitive examinations, but they were also building a parallel learning structure to the existing school system. So we had a system, we had a program offering, we had a solution that was serving the needs, but it was effectively competing with the existing school structure. And that led to the rise of what we also popularly known as the dummy school culture. In fact, data suggests that almost out of the students who opt out of regular schooling post class 10th, almost 20% of them do so because they have to prepare for these competitive examinations. So although it was serving some objectives, what it was building was a parallel learning structure that was competing with the schooling system. So that was one of the challenges. While the school was focusing on the holistic development of the child, focusing on the board success, providing the children with a safe and sanitized environment where they can actually perform optimally, where you had trained teachers who are actually trained to be teachers, understand the children, and beyond the academic rigors, also cater to their psychological needs, also cater to what is required of them, what is required to actually help them perform to their best level. So all that was being done at the school, but this parallel learning structure, which was a mix of star and regular teachers, online and offline modes, a previous track record of successful results to show off, there were some things that were not being addressed in that system. It was primarily focusing on the top rankers, because those were the photographs that we were putting up in ads and getting droves of students into those programs. So this was the reality. This was the reality of the competing structure that was existing because of the development of these kinds of programs. And we ultimately got a competing program that was disconnected from the school. We had a one-size-fits-all learner approach. So these after-school programs, be it in the online format or in the offline format, cater to larger chunks of students from various schools. So there was no standardization. There was a group that came to study for limited hours. So everything was imparted in a group format. It was a standard teaching, standard assessment that was being given to the students. But with the kind of technology that we have now, getting down to the level of each child to service them individually, which is what personalized learning is all about, if you talk about academic, from the academic perspective as well, is now very much possible. So this is something that is still missing in the existing system that we have. The third is the unregulated learning environment that raises security and safety concerns as well. Most of these after-school programs would also take place in crammed rooms, in places, in malls and market areas where the students have to go. There are safety, security concerns, the logistical concerns for parents as well. Even to the extent, Pune probably is a bigger city, but we have lots of cities in UP, Bihar and other such places where the students have to move to a different city to actually prepare for these examinations. That's a huge drain on the financials, the huge drain on psychologically, because if the child goes and stays all alone and they are not able to cope up with the academic stress, they take a lot of drastic steps as well. So all these concerns were there, and that is what we try to solve with Q&I, or the problem solving that we are trying to do with Q&I. So what we are trying to achieve is build a complementing solution that works in tandem with the school system. So whatever program or solutions that Q&I develops, it works with the school. So we do not align with the coaching centers, in the sense we do not have a center opening in any city. We work completely in collaboration with the school. We will talk about how exactly we achieve that, but that is the first thing that we try to do, because school is where the child learns best. So school is at the focus of it. The second is individual student focus. As I said, that Thomson Digital has been creating technology solutions for the last 5 decades, and with the kind of content structuring that we have expertise in, we are able to personalize the learning to address individual student needs. And the third, from the parents' perspective, because this program works within the school or in collaboration with the school, the problem of safety and security that arises among the parents is taken care of. So these are the 3 aspects that Q&I aims to solve for. Now, how is it done? So there are 4 essential elements of the knowledge partnership program, or the school integrated program that we call, which works in collaboration, in sync with the school. So Q&I and the school together collaborate to have a solution that has 4 elements. The first is a seamlessly integrated school program. Now, when I call it a seamlessly integrated learning program aimed at board and competition success, it is in true sense an integrated program. Not just having your students and get them taught by our teachers. It is about collaboration with the existing school system, your academic plan for the year, your teachers who will actually take the content, who will align with us, get trained on the platform, the content, we working with you to customize the reports and dashboards to your needs, so that we have clearly defined performance indices that we chase when we begin this program. So that is the kind of depth that we go to create this integrated program. The second is personalized attention and focus on individual students. So the program offering that Q&I has come up with is a 360 degrees learning solution. So in addition to the learning or the teaching that is imparted, that is required for these programs, at the core of the whole solution lies the Q&I AI-powered adaptive platform. So what we have tried to build in is a platform that understands the students at their individual level, adapts itself and provides content catering to their individual needs, so that every child is not left out, and at the same time the teachers and other stakeholders know where the child is lagging, so that timely action can be taken and we can help them improve. Again, there is also a case where you have these competitive examinations, and not all 100 students preparing for these exams are going to make it in the top rung colleges. So it's also very important that in a timely manner and backed by data, we are able to tell the parents, the teachers and the students that this is where you're lagging, and going by the way you are, you probably are more suitable for some other examination or some other competition. So this is also a very, very important timely advice that has to go into the parents, to the students and teachers in a manner, in a data-backed manner. So that is something that the Q&I platform specializes in. The third aspect is, as I said, we do not open a center in a city. So there is no Q&I learning center that operates in anywhere in India. We completely work within the school in various models. We work in an online model, we work in a hybrid model, we work in an on-site model, but everything is done with the school, within the school, in collaboration with the school. So the safety and security aspect is always taken care of. In fact, some of the schools where we are running these programs, when we have these orientations with the parents, when we are beginning with the program, and we have day 0, day 1 and day 2 of registrations, the first set of registrations always comes from girl students, because the parents are always in that stress of handling the logistics, with the father being at an office, the mother has to take care of this. So the girl child definitely has the first inroad when we begin implementing the program at the school. So safety and security is something that we are definitely addressing. And the fourth is reduced burden and upskilling opportunities for school teachers. As some of the participants also pointed out, that technology is a change that has come in, and we also need to adapt to it. So take in the finer or whatever is essential, get trained on it, and then use it as a tool to make our efficiency better. The primary education is still going to be provided by the teachers, but let us use technology in a manner it has to. So that requires some upskilling as well. So with a platform and a program like Q&I that completely aligns with the school, I think the teachers get a great upskilling opportunity. In fact, the solution and the vision that we have for Q&I for the next 3 years, you'll clearly see how we want the school teachers to take in the central role, even for the preparation of these competitive examinations. And we will talk about that as well. So reducing the burden, because we have a platform, we have a technology platform that adapts to individual student level, we are able to generate a lot of insights. And that insight is then turned into analytics that easily understandable for various stakeholders. So taking exams, setting papers, all that burden is also reduced from the teachers. And that is another advantage that Q&I provides to the school system. So these are the 4 essential elements. And as I said, when we begin a program with a school, we spend a lot of time aligning ourselves, customizing the program to suit their needs. So between today to March or April, or whenever the academic session begins, whichever school is interested in collaborating or exploring synergies with us, we work together, look at their academic plan and see how we can fit in, how many hours, whether it should be within the school timing, outside the school timing, how do we adapt, how do we go together to the parents and the students to make them understand the efficacy of the change that we are trying to bring in. So all that is done before implementing the program, and for that we define clear tangible outcomes, so that we all are very clear in a very transparent manner about how we are going to achieve success through the implementation of the program. So it's not just give me your students, after 1 year or 2 years I'm going to give you results and you'll see it after 2 years. There are milestones defined, there are checkpoints defined, and at each checkpoint there are key performance indicators or matrices that are defined. So this at a very macro level is how we integrate the solution. Now, getting down to a more micro level on how exactly we go about implementing the solution, and how are we actually different from a regular coaching center or a coaching program or an online program that caters to these competitive examinations, the answer lies in this slide. What Q&I does when it begins the program at any particular school is implement a learning cycle. So these are the 5 key elements of that cycle. I'll briefly touch upon each of these to give you a glimpse of how exactly we are implementing the program. When we begin this implementing the program at a school, we begin with a diagnostic test. So whichever grade the child is in, we first diagnose it basis the prerequisite skills that is required for the program. Basis the gaps that are identified, we have designed a bridge course. So basis the need that every child has, we are able to tailor a bridge course for them. And after that bridge course, they then get inducted into the regular learning that is required for the course, because we have to balance it out before we actually begin imparting the learning. So the learning program then begins with your teachers and our teachers working together. So between, as I said, between today to the date when we actually decide on implementing the program, we spend lots of hours aligning ourselves on the academic calendar and how we are going to go about implementing this program, work with your teachers to upskill or give them the training required on the Q&I platform, see what content we are teaching, what you are teaching, so that we can give a seamless integration to the students. Now this learning model is in a hybrid or an on-site model. The preferred model for us is the hybrid, and this is how it works. The 3 months that we spend together, the teachers at the school and the experts at Q&I who are delivering live lectures from our studios align on how the classes will be delivered. So for JEE and NEET, for example, we have our master experts who are going to conduct regular sessions, live sessions during the school hours. So you have a smart board classroom where the students are going to be there. You have your own subject teachers there, and we both together impart the learning to the child. So you have the experts teaching the JEE and NEET. We have the teachers in the school who are trained on the platform, so they are able to take the doubts as well in the class. So you have a defined Q&I section that addresses and takes care of that. This is one model where we do it within the school premises. There are also instances where the school would want the classes, but it would want it after the regular school timing. So that is the customization that we do, and that is again something that we will discuss with you individually and see how it works out. But primarily and preferably, it works best when we have your teachers aligned with the academic plan, they are trained on the whole program, and then we together impart the learning in the school hours, because that is when it makes it most effective. And the second model is the on-site model. So there are some schools where there are limitations of internet or trainings. Probably the teachers are also, they take time, and so there are schools that come and say that probably will take a couple of years to actually come to that pace. And in that case, in those instances, we are also able to align teachers within the school premises. So that's the on-site model for us, where our teachers get stationed within the school. They kind of become a part of the school in the sense that they spend all the 6 days of the week in the school, right from 8 a.m. in the morning to 4 p.m. in the evening. And unlike a regular coaching integrated program, it's not that these teachers are going to teach 3 hours in the school and rest of the time at a coaching center. They are completely dedicated, focused on implementing the program at the school itself. So the quality of teachers is something that we really work on. And this is the second step. When the learning happens, and the other thing that I was missing out on was, so though we have started with this hybrid model where we have teachers, your teachers, our teachers collaborating together, in the long run, probably in the next 2-3 years, what we want to achieve is helping your teachers get upskilled completely on this, so that our role now becomes just that bit of providing the support in delivering, in helping you assess, understanding the data, and providing the Q&I platform. Because Q&I platform in itself is self-sufficient to actually give you a lot of insights and help you take the next course of action to actually improve learning outcomes for the child. So that's the vision for us, but primarily to start with, hybrid model and the physical learning model. The other thing that I want to point out is we are offering this solution for grades 8 to 12. 11th and 12th, we are focusing on JEE and NEET for now. So that's something that we have started with. But we are in the process of developing content for CLAT and other competitive examinations as well. But it takes time. As I said, the way we look at content, because of our experience, is completely different from how others look at it. So a question that is there in the book, for us, it is not just that question and its answer. For us, it is also about the insights that it can give. For every question, we draw as much as 27 pieces of information, which actually help us granularize, make the entire platform very adaptive. Because if you have a question that gives you 27 different pieces of information, you are able to filter down or granularize at a very micro level, we are going to understand the child. So that is something that we do with the platform. Now, when this learning happens, the child has to go back home, practice, right? They practice through the textbooks, the worksheets, and other means. So practice and then assessments is the next step in the learning process, and that is taken on the Q&I's AI-powered adaptive learning platform. So the USP that it has is every single question that the child takes on the platform, we are able to understand the child a bit better. We are able to not just figure out if the child has achieved a certain level of accuracy, we are also able to understand where are the knowledge gaps, what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and hurdle areas for the child, so that we can align the recommendations and feedback for the child accordingly. And that is the power of the Q&I platform. As I said, all of it is, the secret recipe is the manner in which you structure your content. So a question that we get, or when we are talking about proficiency, for example, any test or assessment that we take of a child, a 100-mark paper, and the child gets 80, what does that essentially mean? It means that the child was able to solve 100 questions with 80% accuracy. That is the information that we get. That is not the proficiency. I mean, obviously accuracy is a part of the entire understanding of proficiency. But proficiency is a lot more than that. For competitive examinations that are time tests, the amount of time that the child is taking to solve these questions is also a part of the proficiency. So speed is another aspect that you need to consider. I may have a child who solves only easy questions, right? We may have a child who solves tough questions. So until and unless we have children solving the entire gamut of easy, medium, and difficult, we cannot call the child proficient in a particular topic or a concept or a subject, right? But these tests and assessments do not give us that. Q&I works on that. Not just that, it's not just about easy, medium, and difficult. We break down easy, medium, and difficult into 9 steps. So easy for us is not one single step, it is 9 steps. Medium for us is not one step, it is 9 steps. So ultimately, 27 level matrix we have to brand or grade every question. So the type of questions that the child solves is also a part of accuracy. The other thing is coverage of the syllabus. A chapter may have 5-6 topics. The child may have mastered 2 topics and got 100% results in those 2 topics. And they are not aware or well acquainted with the other 3 topics. Does that make the child a proficient child in that particular chapter? Definitely no. So we also have to attribute the coverage of topics, concepts when we are talking about proficiency. So Q&I goes down to that detail to define proficiency for the child in a particular concept, topic, or a chapter. So that is the kind of analytics or data that we get when a child practices and takes the assessments on the platform. And that brings us to the 4th step, which is the deep analytics part. With so much of data available at our disposal, it becomes very complicated for the child or even for a teacher to understand if you throw up too many things. So we have tried to build real-time dashboards and customized reports that give you the information that you need at the click of a button. At a click of a button, you are able to see which child is engaging on the platform, which child is finding difficulty, what are the strength areas for your class, or at an individual level. You are able to assess how the performance of the teacher is, look at what the child needs to improve, and on a day-to-day basis, you are able to track the progress as well. So that is the kind of deep analytics that we generate for you. For the students, again, they have to focus on practice and assessment. They don't have to get into the whole understanding of where they are and whether the time they are taking is correct or not. They need to be given small modules, small capsules of how to improve. So Q&I takes care of that aspect as well. So the analytics for the child is much different from what it is for teachers. For the child, it is one score that they chase. Amalgamation of the time that they are taking, their accuracy, the kind of questions they are attempting, we create one unified score. Just like for measuring your temperature, you have thermometer. Q&I has a MyQ score that the child looks at. The child knows from day one that to become proficient, I have to score X numbers, and that is what they chase. So that makes it very simplified for them. To the extent that when we were developing the whole analytics for Q&I, we were intending to develop a learning roadmap that's similar to what Google provides us. So for Google, whenever we have to go to a certain place, we plug that in and we figure out which is the best route, what time we are going to take, whether there are going to be traffic jams in between or not. So similar to that, Q&I intends to build a whole learning roadmap for the child where they have visibility on their progress and the pitfalls on a day-to-day basis. So this is the deep analytics, deep predictive analytics that Q&I has built in. After the analytics, the next step is what? Next step is the recommendation that we give. There are 2 kinds of recommendation. One that the Q&I platform intelligently gives by itself. So it recommends small tasks, bite-sized tasks for the child to improve their proficiencies in their weak areas, in their opportunity areas. But the other important aspect is that we, basis the data, we are able to create homogeneous groups of students who are lacking in specific skills, bring them together in what we call need-based live tutorial sessions. So we have these live sessions where we address the needs of a very focused group of students at a topic level at the level of proficiency that they are in. So when we are giving a need-based tutorial for a topic A, we give three separate sessions. One would be for a child that is already at a very high level and probably needs to practice some more. And there are some children who probably need that little nudge to make the particular topic into a strength area. So after the analytics, with the recommendations that come in on the platform, we also organize these live need-based tutorial sessions that are conducted where we invite students only basis the requirement that they have, not everybody together. So following these 5 steps, we are able to complete the whole learning cycle for the children at the school. So this is how the program is implemented at a more micro level that we are talking about. This completes the understanding on a very generic level. Now again, every school will have their own needs, requirements, because it is completely dependent on the type of students that you have, on the structure that you have, on the model that you may want to opt for. And that is why post this, when we engage with you individually, we are going to come down to your school and we are going to have this session early next year in the beginning of New Year, 7th onwards, 7th January onwards. My team is going to be stationed in Pune, and they're going to reach out to you, talk to you individually and explain to you in detail the nitty-gritties of the implementation of the program, the kind of academic plan that we develop, the kind of reports that we have, the kind of insights that we generate, the whole program overview and the platform walkthrough as well. So all that will be taken care of. One of the key things that next comes to the mind is, what has Q&I done so far? So Q&I obviously is a relatively new player. We started out in the last academic session where we have partnered with 50 schools, and we had close to 5,000 students coming onto the platform for various grades, various periods. And out of the 270 students who actually appeared in the JEE Mains this year, 40 of them actually scored more than 90 percentile, which is a success rate of 15%. As opposed to a national average of 4% that we have. So that is the limited success that we have had so far in the last academic year. We have also run pilot programs for state governments, and we have also developed some modules and offerings for government schools, because the kind of solutions that we have at scale, it becomes very affordable as well. So we are also tying up with state governments to provide them with solutions which can be scaled and provided to students across the state. So we are in active discussions with some of the states, and some of the states that actually need it, and we have got very good responses to that effect also. That's the vision for us in this upcoming year. What we are trying to achieve in the academic session 25-26 precisely is to reach out to schools like you. We are covering around 40 cities across India, 50 schools in each city, so approximately 2,000 schools is what we are trying to reach out over the next 2-3 months. We have already covered around 700 schools, and we have around another 1,300 to go. So we have already covered these many schools. We are trying to reach out, talk to them about the program, learn what challenges that the schools have in mind, learn what the schools think is the best solution to go out for, because again, as I said, there's a solution that works best with the school. So we are in the process of that, and today's event is also a part of that. So that's the limited success, and that's the vision for us going ahead. Next step for us is obviously to come down to the city again, talk to you individually, because we want to understand which is the model that may work with you, discuss the financials as well, basis the strength at the school. So these are some of the aspects that we want to talk to you in detail. And post this session, we are going to have a short networking break, and we'll have my team as well who will be meeting you all and taking a suitable time as per your convenience, starting the 7th of January. And I will be very grateful if you could spare 30 to 45 minutes to have one of my team members visit the school and take you through the entire walkthrough of the program, the platform as well, so that we can look forward to actually working and collaborating with the schools. So today we have two of my team members, Abhishek, Arya and Shubham. Can you come up on the stage, please? So we have Abhishek and Shubham who will be in the city starting the 7th of January. Again, Abhishek is also, both of them are engineering graduates. So Abhishek is from IIT Delhi, and they have been a part of the system for the last almost 2 years now, so they have a thorough understanding of the whole platform, the program offerings as well, and being a part of the whole process, they probably also have a lot of insights to share with the students at the school. So when they visit, we'll be glad to talk to you, talk to the students as well, and take it further from there. Okay? Thank you, Abhishek and Shubham. So they'll be our points of contact, and they'll be connecting with you in the networking break as well. So this is, in essence, the program offering that we have. I'll now open the forum to hear your insights, your feedback, your thoughts on the program, and any suggestions, any feedback, questions that you may have, please. As I said, yes, ma'am, please.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening to you, sir.
Thank you.
I have more than one questions, if I may ask. Okay, so you talked about the school being an after-school program.
Both the options.
Or the hybrid program.
Right, ma'am.
Do you integrate it in the timetable as well?
Yes. So when we have this program running within the school, so generally what happens is either the school opts for all students or it opts for a specific section. So we create a specific section and we have designated hours. So we have multiple slots available.
Okay.
So like one slot will begin from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock daily. The other will begin from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And so you have choices to make. These online classes, again, we work in a kind of a 3-teacher model where if you choose a particular slot, for example, you choose 8 to 10 daily. So we will have our teachers teaching from the centralized studios, one teacher teaching, the other teacher sitting on the chat, so that any transactional messages or doubts that arise can be sorted there itself. And you have the subject teachers in the classroom to address the students there. So this is how we implement the 3-teacher model. In these classes, there will be more than one school. So the primary classes will have around 4 to 5 schools. That is what the intention is, but since it is being catered to by the 3 teachers, we are still able to make it limited. So the teacher-student ratio is still taken care of. Post the classes, the learning and practice is at an individual level because it is adaptive. So every child gets their own worksheet in a sense. And then the subsequent need-based tutorial sessions that we have designed, there also you do not have the entire class coming in for a particular session. Basis their requirements, we invite the students. So that is also how we personalize the learning. So this is the in-school program, we integrate with the school calendar.
Okay. My next question would be that if you have the program in your school and if it is in the timetable, for example, what are your teachers or instructors being, will they need a training about the school climate that we have?
Yes. So that is what is the alignment that we will work on. So when we begin discussing with you in January and you have that interest, we'll spend that time. We'll have our own academic. For example, Neha leads the whole foundation piece. So she will be the point of contact. We'll have the discussions with her. We'll have the discussion with the academic team so that we are able to customize it. Because until and unless there is alignment, the program is going to fall flat. Right. So this is something that we work on for 2 months.
Because in previous cases, I think we've seen that there is a clash of the teacher culture.
Right.
The integrated course which is coming in and our own teachers, there's a clash. We face, I think, principals, the same problem with coachings, where the children go. The culture is very different and our school culture is very different, where the schools start facing a problem.
So one of the key differences that we have tried to very purposely integrate into our minds is that we want to build a solution that complements. Right. So we are there to plug in what you probably are not giving or probably you are currently not in the process of giving. So we are only aligned to providing that, and hence that clash is something that we definitely work on solving for.
Okay. And of course there were some questions which have been answered. I was wanting to know your success rate, which has been answered, and I also wanted to know what about the weak performers. So you've talked about need-based tutorials. And my last question is, yes, we will be discussing the commercials with us immediately, but do you have anything special for the high performers, a scholarship?
Yes, we also have a scholarship program that we again work it out with the school, because we are primarily working, the financial aspects are being worked out with the school. So we have scholarship programs. The top performers in each grade for each of the programs that we have, we do have scholarships available for them. So we are going to support them as well.
Thank you so much. That would be all.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yes, sir. Good evening, one and all present over here. So this program will be for the students which they want for foundation courses or only for the 8, 9, 10 student. Foundation courses means from 6th standard I want.
No, currently we have programs from class 8, 9, 10th, 11th and 12th. We are in the process of developing lower grades, but the whole content that we develop, the questions, it requires a lot of time to actually structure it. So we are in the process of developing those solutions, but in the upcoming academic year, we are catering to 8, 9, 10, 11th, 12th. 8, 9 and 10, we are catering to maths, science and social science. And 11th and 12th, we are catering to the JEE NEET, the science subjects for now. Obviously, in the next academic year of 26-27, we are going to add to our portfolio.
So not for CET?
CUET, again, not specifically
CET. MHCET.
Right. So MHCET, again, the syllabus would be there. Since it is an adaptive platform, we will define the proficiencies that the child needs. So the learning is going to be the same manner, but the extent of proficiency that the child needs if they are preparing specifically for CET is different from what they need for a JEE or a NEET, right? So we will define that score so that they'll chase that score only. So for a JEE student, probably the proficiency that they need to target at a topic or a chapter level is 80. Whereas for somebody at a CET level, will have to chase 65 or 70. So then they know where they have to stop.
Last question, sir. The thing about the dummy students, if the dummy students are not coming to the school because they are in a process of dummy, so how can the school work out to catch them into the school for that?
So it's
any help from your side?
Absolutely. So this is what we intend to solve for. And this has actually resulted, we have case studies to prove that as well. The dummy school culture has been ingrained in the last 7, 8 years, probably 10 years. When I was a part of this whole culture, there was no dummy school culture when we prepared. It was a regular, you have experts that you go and ask doubts and you get taught at school.
Quota pattern type.
Yes, so this is probably a recent phenomenon, and because the school was probably aligned to a certain aspect of learning and these programs probably offered something else. So dummy school is what we are trying to solve for. But again, it's not going to be a sudden change overnight. What we will do together after aligning on this program is to speak with the parents, students, talk about these case studies and with the obvious benefits that they have. It's not as if the parents very willingly go to these programs. They don't have any option. So when we start to offer them an option, talk about the solution with real examples on how we have been able to actually solve for these, we definitely get better admissions or retention of the students. In fact, one of the schools in Sonipat is like 50-60 kilometers away from Delhi. So what happens there is a lot of parents are forced to send their children to weekend classes to Delhi, 70 kilometers coming, going, Saturdays, Sundays, 52 weeks. The child spends 5 days at school, 2 days at these coaching centers. So it was a mess for them. When we implemented this program, as I said, and also for the girl child, suddenly within that academic year, from 84 students, from 270 students in class 10th, they were getting 84 students in class 11th. Suddenly it has jumped to 116, primarily because a lot of students now want to take this as a second option. They also want to prepare for plan B. What if I don't compete in these examinations? So I have to be prepared for plan B as well, and being in school, being a part of such a program offers me that plan B. So that works out. We will work that together. We will approach the students, parents together and tell them about how this solution actually solves for the problem, and it is going to improve the number of retentions in the school.
What about the study materials, sir?
Come again, ma'am?
Study materials, yes, and the tutorials, whatever the assignments.
So we have, again, as I said, we have the whole platform, and we have around 1 lakh questions that are already there. So for question practice, we have kind of unlimited content available. In addition to that, we also have books and reference material that's available. We also have video lectures that are available on the platform for the students, because they may miss out on certain lectures, they may want to go and revise. So all that is there. When these classes the children take in these need-based tutorials or other classes, the lecture notes, etc. are also provided to them in a PDF format, online format.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you have a criteria for a minimum number of students,
Yes.
eligibility criteria?
Yes. So again, we have, because it has to be viable, And if you're opting for the hybrid model where you have to have the teacher sitting in the class, if you have just 5 students sitting in the class, it's not viable for you. You need to have certain strength within the class to actually impart the learning and actually make sense of the teacher's time who is going to sit. So there is a limitation. So 35 students in a class, in one class is what we look for when we are going for the hybrid model. On-site model, again, it depends on the grades that you're choosing for. So that is something that we work out on. Yes, but yes, there are minimum student criteria, but again, there could be instances, specific instances where you have limited strength and you're very eager and the students are really wanting to have this program. In that case, we can also customize and see if we can work out an after-school program for you. So then we will have to actually see what the requirement is, and accordingly we'll be able to prescribe a solution. And that's why we want to visit the school, understand how you're looking at the program, what is the strength that you have, and then we'll be able to tailor a solution for them. In the hybrid mode, I'll tell you, I'll give you a very generic idea. With the online teaching that we are giving, along with the platform that we have, and in addition to that, we are ready to provide a device, a handheld device, because a lot of times there is also a question that comes in from teachers, from schools, from parents as well, that when we have something in the online mode, it's very difficult to track the students. They might go and look at various other things and not engage in study. So we are in a position to actually customize these handheld devices. We do not sell these devices. We can arrange it for you, and on the top of that we put a software solution that actually locks the entire device and the child is able to only open the Q&I device, Q&I apps.
What we want to know, suppose if you are going for the hybrid model, and if your 3 teachers are coming, physics, chemistry and maths, and for 5 days they will be coming to the school.
The pricing in the hybrid model with this kind of a device is roughly around 28,000-29,000 with taxes, GST.
Per month?
Annually, in the hybrid model.
No, that is for the 11th, 12th I am asking.
11th, 12th.
28,000.
Yes, in the hybrid online model.
All the 3 teachers are coming?
The teachers, hybrid model is where they are teaching from the online mode and your teachers are in the classroom.
No, suppose if your teachers are coming.
Again, that depends on the number of students that we have. And this is something that we can work out because it varies. But it is definitely lower than what the child is paying at a regular coaching
Because
center.
what is happening now, the physics wala, Khan Academy, so many are there. Those who are taking very less price also. And there is also the same thing, this online mode is there.
Right.
So from the classes they are looking and they are paying very simple.
We have very competitive pricing there. We have very competitive pricing there. But we are not taking any names. But what differentiates us from any of these programs is a clear fact that our intention is to help the school succeed. Our intention is not just to get the students this year from the school and move them to our center and focus on our center so that we provide limited quality teachers at these schools. For us, school is where the learning is happening. So these are the aspects that differentiates us. And the other very important differentiator, as I talked about, was the Q&I platform. The way we personalize, the way we implement this program differentiates us very clearly.
No, what is happening now, the CBSE has given the circular. If the children are in all this type of children are not coming to the school, so many school has been, the affiliation has been withdrawn. 27 to 28 schools affiliation has been withdrawn. So normally so many will be focusing on that, the school students will be coming to the school. If the Q&A is coming to the school and both are working, that is just like totally they will be tying up with each other. And it will be in the life model. Your teachers are coming and the school teachers are there and they will be teaching for whole classes for 5 days.
Right.
So how is the commercial approximately it will be?
We will talk about the commercial and the on-site model separately because we will have to address to the number of students that we have.
Okay.
But what I can say is it's a very competitive pricing, so it's not something that's different from the other players that are there. In fact, it will be cheaper if you look at the kind of services that we are offering.
Because other students are going to the coaching center,
Absolutely,
they are paying
ma'am.
from 3 lakhs to 4 lakhs for 2 years.
It's nothing like that. Less than 50% of that.
Good evening. My question is that you are wanting to integrate it, you said you'll integrate it into the timetable. So we'll have to make a particular timetable for Q&I, or our timetable which is there, you will, your teachers will sync into our timetable.
So as I said, we have options available. So we have options, obviously, because we'll have 4 or 5 schools coming into these programs, we create ABC slots. So we will work it out with you. So there could be a slot where you say that when the school begins, 8 to 10 is when we can give you this time. Or you may come and say that no, towards the end.
But you also mentioned the teachers will be in the school for the whole day.
The on-site model.
Yeah, the on-site model.
On-site model, we will have a specific, we generally have a specific section created for Q&I. So the Q&I teachers for science subjects, they are going to take X number of periods. The other 2 subjects, because CBSE will have 5 subjects, so the other 2 subjects probably, like you may choose that between 8 to 9:30, we will have the first 2 subjects and the rest of the periods are allocated to Q&I teachers. So this is the kind of timetable that we work with. But since the teachers will be there, it totally is customizable on which time periods you want to give, because they are going to be there within the school the entire day.
And also, what about the existing teachers? Do you utilize them? Do you train them so that they can take
In the hybrid model we do, but in the on-site model, since the teachers are going to be completely there, we take care of the entire thing for the Q&I section that we have. The teachers...
Then you will not use our teachers and train them to do that?
There are limited collaboration areas there, but we definitely work it out. But generally in an on-site model, in 100, because it's slightly more pricier as well and only interested students generally opt for it, in those cases, we have specific sections that I've created. So we cater to those students and the teachers cater to the rest of the students. But the teachers have access to the platform, have access to the content, because as I said, the vision for us is not to provide teachers to you in the long run. For us, the core or the focus is the platform that personalizes the learning for your child, gives you the insights to act upon. We want to utilize the next 2-3 years to just help you get accustomed to that.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Okay, so probably in the networking break as well, we will connect. And as I said, between 7th to 9th or 10th of January, we are going to be stationed in the city. My team will be reaching out to you. Please do give 30 to 45 minutes of your time and we'll be glad to come over and visit you. Thank you for your patient hearing and thank you for the response.
Thank you, Anurag. Just to say it once again, our team will be present in the city and they will also meet you in the networking break. Abhishek, Arya and Shubham Simar, they would love to reach out to you and know when would be a good time to connect with you and see what are the potential collaboration areas. With that, once again, thank you, Anurag. We now have a short networking break. We will reconvene in 15 minutes and post that we'll have the awards segment. Just a very short networking break for 15 minutes and then we'll reconvene very shortly. One more thing, as soon as you step out to the refreshment area, your photos that were clicked when you all had entered for the event are printed and they've been kept for you. It's a small gesture from the Q&I team. It's a token of our gratitude to each one of you for making it here. Please do collect them and we'll be back shortly within 15 minutes. Meanwhile, there's refreshments outside. And please do help yourselves. We'll be back very shortly. Thank you so much.
प्रश्न पाहू शकता जे तुम्ही मार्क केले होते. इथे तुम्ही टेस्ट पूर्ण करण्यासाठी उरलेला वेळ पाहू शकता. क्लिक करून त्यावर परत जाऊ शकता. टेस्ट पूर्ण करण्यासाठी सबमिट टेस्टवर क्लिक करा. इथे फक्त त्याच प्रश्नांची उत्तरे सबमिट होतील ज्यांना तुम्ही सेव्ह केलं आहे किंवा रिव्ह्यू मार्क करून सेव्ह केलं आहे. चला पाहूया आपल्या टेस्टचे निकाल कसे रिव्ह्यू करायचे. इथे तुम्ही आपल्या टोटल स्कोअर सोबत योग्य, चुकीच्या आणि उत्तर न दिलेल्या प्रश्नांची संख्या पाहू शकता. हा पॅनल तुम्हाला तुमच्या टेस्टचा निकाल विस्ताराने रिव्ह्यू करायला
Team, please check. Please request everybody to join us back in. We're about to begin. I am ready. We are ready. We are waiting for you all to join us. Team, just quick, take a look around. We hope no one's left outside. Okay. Requesting everybody to kindly take their seats. So before we begin, just a small announcement. The entire event is being live streamed. The next is the award segments. Please share it with your near and dear ones so that they can watch you being felicitated. And we're about to begin in 3 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. Now we move into a very special part of today's event. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our awards segment. This movement is dedicated to honoring the individuals who have gone above and beyond in shaping the future of education. Today we celebrate the educators, leaders, and change makers who continuously strive for excellence in their work. These awards are a testament to your extraordinary contributions, leadership, and vision for a brighter future in education. Please join me as we applaud the exceptional individuals we are about to recognize. It is also my pleasure to introduce Mr. Vinay Singh, Executive Director and CEO of Thomson Digital and Q&I. With over 30 years of distinguished experience, Mr. Singh has been a visionary leader in content communication technology, driving Thomson Digital's strategic growth across India, Mauritius, and the US. Under his leadership, the company has emerged as a key player in the global publishing industry, pioneering digital transformation and innovation. Mr. Singh's deep fascination with emerging technologies has fueled his commitment to driving innovation. His extensive background in scientific, technical, and medical content from K-12 to higher education now guide his focus toward advancing the EdTech landscape in India. Leading Q&I, he leverages Thomson Digital's rich legacy to create transformative learning solutions that enhance student experiences nationwide. Mr. Singh, thank you for joining us this evening. May I please invite the Q&I team to kindly join us on the stage and request Mr. Vinay Singh to kindly give the awards to our school leaders this evening. Sir, requesting you to kindly do the honors. Q&I team, please join us as we present the awards to the school leaders this evening. The first award for this evening goes to Dr. Aparna Morris, Principal, SPM Public English Medium School. Congratulations, ma'am. Dr. Kajal Chitija, Director, United International School. Congratulations, ma'am. Our next awardee, it's a humble request. Please do not leave after receiving your awards. We want to take a group photo right after the awards ceremony, and we do not want any of you to miss out. Please do not leave right after taking your awards. Thank you. Well, the next awardee is Ms. Jyotsna Mishra, Dr. Mridula Mahajan, Principal, Akshara International School. Mishra, Director, Elad Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. Together for Ms. Shehnaz Kotar, Principal, Podar International School. Congratulations, ma'am. Ms. Anaga Gulab, Principal, Podar International School, Ambegao. Congratulations, ma'am. Ms. Archana Karande, Principal, Podar International School, Sara City. For Ms. Bhavna Nasingoju, Principal, Symbiosis Junior College. Congratulations, ma'am. Shardul, Principal, Phoenix World School. Congratulations, ma'am. your hands together for Dr. Ajita Sundaram, Principal, Signet Public School. Congratulations. This evening is Dr. Anita Kaul, Principal, Trinity Junior College. Congratulations, ma'am. Together for Dr. Dipali Shilgare, Principal, Vishwa Kalyan English Medium School. Congratulations, ma'am. This evening is Dr. Hitesh N. Sharma, Principal, Bloomingdale International School. Congratulations, sir. Please put your hands together. For Dr. Karuna Manuja, Principal, NCRDS Nalanda English School, we have someone from the school team taking the award on ma'am's behalf. Congratulations. Our next awardee for this evening, Dr. Monica Gupta, Director and Principal, Pushpa International School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Dr. Smita Patterson, Principal, Badar International School, Pimpri. Congratulations, ma'am. Together for Dr. Sunita Rai, Principal, PDEA's Eon Gyanankur English School. Congratulations, ma'am. Next awardee is Ms. Gursimran Kaur, Principal, Euro School. Congratulations, ma'am. We have someone else award in ma'am's behalf. Congratulations. Principal, Academic Heights Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. Our next awardee, Ms. Kajal S. Sumai, Principal, CESS Dr. Cyrus Poonawalla English Medium High School. Congratulations, ma'am. Together for Ms. Khushbu, Cluster Principal, Angel Group of Schools. Congratulations, ma'am. Let's welcome our next awardee, Ms. Kiran Singh, Principal, Shiva Valley School. Congratulations, ma'am. Together for Ms. Mayuri Mehta, Principal, GK Gurukul. Congratulations, ma'am. Let's welcome our next awardee, Ms. Meenal Vaidya, Principal, Podar International School, Manjri. Congratulations, ma'am. Together for Ms. Neeta Kumar, Principal, Podar International School, Vakar. Congratulations, ma'am. Together for Mr. Omkar Kashin, owner, Paramount International School. Congratulations, sir. Preeti Khandelwal, Principal, Global Talent International School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Ms. Ritika S. Naidu, Principal, New Times International School. Congratulations, ma'am. Please put your hands together for Ms. Shweta Vakil, Principal, SMVP International School. We have someone from the school team taking the award on ma'am's behalf. Congratulations. Let's welcome our next awardee, Ms. Sunita S. Parke, Principal, Adhira International School. Congratulations, ma'am. May I now invite our next awardee, Mr. Vikas Chaudhary, Principal, Jagat Guru International School. Congratulations, sir. Please put your hands together for Ms. Vishakha Gupta, Principal, Beacon High School. Congratulations, ma'am. Our next awardee for this evening is Ms. Jyoti Sunil Jagtap, Principal, Vidya Pratishthan's Indapur English Medium School. Congratulations, ma'am. May I now invite our next awardee, Mr. KVN Ganesh Kumar, Principal, Saraswati Vidya Academy. Congratulations, sir. final awardee for this evening. So let's hear a huge round of applause for Ms. Pragati Salvekar, Principal, Kunjiri Public School. Congratulations, ma'am. Once again, congratulations to all the awardees. Thank you, team. Thank you, sir, for giving away the awards. May I now request everyone to kindly please join us on the stage for one group photograph. Thank you so much for your patience. Let's have one group photograph. Thank you so much, team.